Welcome to Physics 1. This will be over Chapter 2, Section 3, dealing with falling objects. Alright, so looking at a little sample problem here. The tallest roller coaster in the world is Desperado in Nevada. It has a lift height of 64 meters. If an archer shoots an arrow straight up in the air and the arrow passes the top of the roller coaster 3 seconds after the arrow is shot, what is the initial speed of the arrow? So a couple of notes here. We are going to be using one of your equations, but instead of using an x, we're going to use y now. So the equation we're going to use is delta y is equal to the initial velocity times change in time plus 1/2 acceleration delta t squared. And the reason we're switching to y is because we're shooting this arrow up, so we're dealing with the y direction now. And another thing that we'll have to keep in mind also, since this object is going against the acceleration due to gravity, is it's not given in the problem, but we have 9.81 meters per second squared. So this is kind of like a given you'll have to keep in the back of your mind. We do have the height of the roller coaster. It's 64 or positive 64 meters. And we've got a time of 3 seconds. So those are our givens. And what do we want to find? We're wanting to find this initial velocity. So we're going to have to take this equation and rearrange it so that we're solving for initial velocity. When I do that, VI, I end up with this equation. And then I plug my values into this equation, so I've got 64 meters, subtracting 1/2 of the acceleration, multiplied by 3 seconds squared, and I'm dividing all of this by 3 seconds as well. So, doing some math on the top here, or at least getting rid of this multiplication business, I end up with 64 plus 44 meters. 64 meters plus 44 meters divided by 3 seconds, which turns out to be 108 meters divided by 3 seconds. So my final, or my initial velocity is 36 meters per second. So just remember, when you're dealing with this y component now, or dealing with objects that are going up or down, we're changing our directional component to y instead of x, and we have to account for acceleration. Acceleration is due to gravity. It's always coming down, so it's a negative direction because it's going in the negative direction.